Oh, okay. Good afternoon and welcome to judges, teachers, guests, and participants of FRSIS 2025. Now, I would like to introduce our judges today. The chief judges is Dr. Muhammad Alif Ashraf bin Kamal Nurazman, lecturer, Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management, UITM Shah Alam Puncak Alam Campus. The second judge is Dr. Sazlini binti Muhammad Sazli Lim from Sekolah Menengah Sains Selangor. The third judge is Miss Kau Hui Jing from Sekolah Menengah Sains Tuanku Syed Putra. And I, Norfarah Husna binti Muhammad Khairul from Sekolah Menengah Sains Muar. Sekolah Menengah Sains Muar. While the timekeepers, Nur Adlina Husna binti Faizal and Alia Hainani binti Hairun Nizam are from Sekolah Menengah Sains Kuala Selangor. Now, allow me to read the rules. First, each team should consist of presenters and a technical assistant. Number two, the presentation must focus on the sub-themes assigned to the team. Number three, the duration of the presentation should not be more than 10 minutes. Number four, the bell will be rung and once at 9 minutes and twice at the 10 minutes. And number five, a question and answer session will be conducted after each presentation. Now, I would like to invite Sid Mark SR Secondary Public School Meera, Bagh, India, to present.
Greetings everyone, I'm Yovika.
And I'm Janvi.
I'm Manya.
And I am Aditi, and we are from St. Mark's Senior Secondary Public School, New Delhi, India. Today we are here to present our research on fostering ethical travel through quality education, that is SDG 4. Ethical travel isn't just about where you go, it's about how you go there. It means being a responsible and a mindful traveler, someone who's aware of their impact. This includes making choices that protect the environment and showing genuine respect for local cultures. So instead of simply visiting places, ethical travelers focus on connecting with them. They aim to leave a positive footprint, not just memories for themselves, but meaningful benefits for the communities they visit. Our interpretations. When we as students think about ethical travel beyond the definitions, we see it as a mindset, not just a checklist. For us, it is making sure that when we visit a place, our presence is kind and conscious. Ethical travel, in our eyes, is not about doing everything perfectly, it's about doing what we can. It is about asking ourselves, am I giving back as much as I'm taking from this experience? Now that we've understood what ethical travel is, we'll focus on how to foster it, which again starts with raising awareness so that travelers understand their impact on the environment and the local cultures. Once awareness is built, the next step is action. We can begin by encouraging travelers to stay in eco friendly accommodations. For example, staying at eco lodges built with natural materials or homestays that use solar energy and support local produce allows us to travel more sustainably without compromising our comfort. Uh, Choosing sustainable transportation instead of private vehicles also makes a big difference. Then, by supporting local communities, whether it's buying handmade goods or hiring local guides, we ensure our travel benefits the people who call these places home. And finally, it's essential to respect natural environments by not littering and following local rules. All these steps together help make ethical travel more than just a concept, they turn it into a habit. Understanding ethical travel. This means recognizing how our choices affect the environment, culture, and local communities. It requires conscious decisions to minimize harm and support sustainability, moving beyond mere sightseeing to responsible engagement. Ethical travel acknowledges tourism's benefits like cultural exchange and economic growth, alongside challenges such as over tourism, exploitation, and environmental damage. Awareness of these issues helps travelers reduce negative impacts and contribute positively. To conduct our research, we interviewed individuals who are truly passionate and responsible about responsible tourism. We wanted to hear their personal experiences and perspectives firsthand. In addition, we actively took part in group discussions and meetings, which provided a rich environment for exchanging ideas and deepening our understanding. Finally, we conducted surveys to gather broader input. By combining these approaches, we ensured that our research was both comprehensive and well informed. Now, Yuvika will take over the presentation.
We'd now like to share what our survey data reveals. Based on a total of 146 responses to shed light on current mindsets and help guide future efforts in promoting sustainable and responsible travel. The survey reveals that comfort and convenience dominate travelers' priorities, with cost also playing a major role, while sustainability and eco friendliness are considered only by a few. Cultural experience ranks the lowest. Additionally, majority report a lack of green initiatives in their communities, indicating a significant awareness and action gap. This suggests that despite growing interest in ethical travel, practical factors like comfort and cost still outweigh sustainability concerns. The absence of community programs further emphasizes the need for enhanced education and local initiatives to promote travel practices. This shows promising support for sustainable travel, with 74.7% of respondents willing to pay extra for eco friendly accommodations. This indicates a strong interest in making environmentally conscious choices. However, only a few consistently consider the environmental impact while traveling. Most respondents fall between sometimes and often, reflecting awareness but inconsistent eco friendly behavior. In an interview with Mr. Akash Gupta, Associate Director at Shrijan Technologies and a passionate traveler, he emphasized his commitment to ecotourism. He defines ethical travel as connecting with nature through mindful and sustainable choices. Mr. Gupta noted that ecotourism is growing in India but often remains off social media to protect pristine areas. He truly believes ethical travel benefits the environment and deepens our connection to the true spirit of the place. Miss Gunjan Sethi, a German language facilitator and explorer, shared her deep bond with nature through her travels in Meghalaya. For her, ethical travel means truly feeling a place and recognizing that nature requires protection, care, and respect, not just admiration. By walking forests, engaging with locals, and avoiding urban comforts, she immersed herself in region's raw beauty. Ethical travel in action. This reflects upon how responsible tourism practices can positively impact communities, environment, and culture. This approach encourages travelers to make conscious choices that minimize harm and maximize benefits for local people and ecosystems.
We would now like to introduce the change makers driving this movement forward: NGOs and other social organizations committed to promoting sustainable travel. These groups play a crucial role by raising awareness, supporting community led initiatives, and ensuring that tourism contributes to empowerment and conservation. Through their efforts, ethical travel becomes a powerful choice for meaningful, lasting change. We wanted to move beyond theory and statistics, to listen to a voice that represents real experiences in this field. And hence, we had the opportunity to interview Mr. Lavia, the founder of KPM, an organization which deeply believes in the idea of ethical traveling. Due to time constraints, we'll just share a small part. We asked him what message he would like to share with young people who want to travel more responsibly and make a difference through their journeys.
For again the younger generation, I would say, like, now the world is opened up a lot compared to what it was. The internet has really made the world very small, and every place is at your fingertips. So again, before you try to study more about the place you are visiting, and I would recommend not hopping from one place to another. Rather do stays, 6 days, 7 days with one particular family or with one particular place, and get to know the place and the region. That way, I think it can have great impact. You learn from and you share your experiences and your knowledge with the local communities. So it's a dual focus. So I think that would be very, very impactful in terms of.
The social impact of ethical travel lies in these simple yet powerful exchanges, where respect replaces assumption and curiosity replaces judgment. It reminds us that travel isn't just about places, it's about people. And when we travel with care, we leave behind meaningful than something more meaningful than souvenirs. We leave behind understanding. Ethical travel empowers local communities by encouraging sustainable livelihoods and helping preserve their cultural identity. It contributes to better education as tourism revenue is often used to support local schools and learning initiatives. It also promotes gender equality by opening employment opportunities for women in tourism related roles. Social entrepreneurship is encouraged as communities start small businesses that benefit both locals and travelers. Additionally, it helps preserve local languages and traditions by valuing authentic cultural experiences. The next few slides will showcase images of our school's sustainability initiatives, encouraging people to get involved and make a positive impact.
This slide showcases the school's work on Sustainable Development Goal 4, that is, quality education. In Project Vidyaram, students of our school educate the children from the nearby slum areas about health, hygiene, and more. The school fosters initiatives like Project Parivartan, which empowers underprivileged students' parents with digital literacy. Next, we have initiatives promoting Sustainable Development Goal 12, that is, responsible consumption and production. Students of our school visit Gurukul, an old age home where they distribute blankets and food and spend meaningful time with elderly residents. Next, we have Shramdan, where students undertake a cleanliness drive in the area adjoining our school. Next, we have emphasis on Sustainable Development Goal 13, that is climate action. We have the Eco Club where students pledge to work in an environment friendly manner, which also includes planting trees, usage of paper bags, water management, etc. The sustainable workshop that you see here focused on critical environmental issues such as carbon footprints, global warming, and climate change. It highlighted the importance of individual and collective actions in mitigating climate change and fostering a sustainable future. This slide showcases posts from our Instagram account focused on educating and raising awareness about ethical travel. Through clear and engaging content, our aim was to inspire travelers to make conscious choices that support sustainable tourism. Our mission is to create a community of informed travelers who prioritize ethics in every journey they take. As we come towards the end, we inspire you all to travel with purpose, return with stories that inspire change. Thank you.
I would like I would like to invite participants to ask questions. Since there since there's none question from the audience, I would like to invite the judges to ask questions.
Hello, thank you for your presentation. Okay, I would like to ask, you mentioned that you have collected 146, you managed to get 146 respondents for your quantitative data, right? Okay, may I know their age group? Like who, are they students or tourists?
We actually got a mix of responses. We shared it with family, friends, and our peers. So it's a mix of age group between around 12 to I think 50, around 50 or 52. So everybody was included in our surveys. Included in our surveys.
Hello, hi. All right, congratulations as you presented well on the topic. Yeah. Uh, I just have like maybe two questions for you guys. Okay, the first one, in your abstracts, basically you mentioned about the over tourism in popular India destination has led to 25% increase of waste generation. So as we know that India is very big with the very high population. So which destination that you are referring to? Okay. And another thing, can you show us your the result, the statistic result?
When we say it led to a 6% rise, we are referring to overall India, and the statistics, they were based upon official websites publishing it. Like we refer to various official ones, and then we found out.
Can I see the result of statistics? The slide.
I would request Yuvika to please share that slide from our presentation.
Okay, so from here that you mentioned about the we can see that most of them sorry, back there. Another slide tadi. Yang slide tadi yang. Ni slide tadi. They- Oh, they control. Okay. Okay. Can we go to the previous slide? Okay. All right. So most of the respondents mentioned that or choose that the highest the top priority is the comfort and convenience, and least of them actually choose sustainability and eco-friendly or friendliness, yeah, in term of booking a trip. So how actually it can relates back to their future. Sorry, next slide. So how it actually can relate back to their future intention in willing to pay more on eco-friendly or their future intention pertaining to environment.
So through the surveys, we could actually see that people do want to move towards sustainable practices, but they're unable to because right now we do not have a lot of institutions through which they can promote sustainability. So first, obviously, we'll raise awareness. And although the government of India has started launching campaigns, like we have Incredible India campaign that promotes awareness about it, we have Dekho Apna Desh campaign in India that basically promotes less traveled places so that we can reduce over tourism and promote eco lodges and green hotels to stay. So, and that would also include cultural experience.
All right, that's all. Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite Pakphanang School, Thailand to present.
Yes, it is. Okay. Hello. Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Sawadee. Good afternoon, honorable judges, teachers, and fellow participants.
We are delighted to welcome you to our presentation, Think Before You Travel, Pakphanang Youth Action for Responsible Tourism. We are from Pakphanang School, located in the beautiful coastal town of Nakhon Si Thammarat, Thailand.
This year's theme, ecotourism, navigating changes and shaping a sustainable future, resonates deeply with our project.
Allied with Sustainable Development Goal 4, Quality Education, our project empowers youth to become responsible and ethical travelers who protect the environment and respect local culture.
We proudly present ourselves as the Mighty Nature's Officers, or TMNO. This abbreviation also stands for our nicknames.
We are a group of grade 10 students with one mission to inspire change to education and equal awareness.
Our team includes Thirawat Kualamthan, our technical assistant, Saribut Mishia, our reporter and documenter, Kankanok Broadwong, the moderator of this project, and I am Supishia Pumana, the lead presenter. Our dedicated supervisors are Ms. Savitri Kalman and Ms. Sukanya Simtiti, who guided us every step of the way.
Today, we will walk you through the black guard of our city, the problem we identify, our research objective and methodology, and our innovative activities. Finally, we'll share finding and recommendation.
Pakphanang is rich in culture and nature, but in 2024, a surge in tourism led to rising waste, pollution in waterways, and culturally significant locations.
Visitors often shoot business outside the community, disrupting local livelihood. Our project responds to this urgent need for sustainable and ethical tourism.
We aim to 1. To promote knowledge and understanding of responsible and ethical tourism among students at Pakphanang School. 2. To enable students at Pakphanang School to apply their knowledge in planning sustainable and responsible travel. 3. To foster positive attitudes among students at Pakphanang School towards becoming responsible and ethical travelers who demonstrate respect for local community and the environment.
For this study, we adopted a quantitative approach. Population is 2,200 students. Sample is 316 grade 10 students. Purposive random sampling used for this study. Location is Pakphanang School.
Periods is during summer course in March 2025. We designed for core learning activities. The first activity, Green Mission, introduced the concept of responsible tourism to case study and animated video called Fish Happen. Students then played a board game simulating real-life travel situation. They had to make decisions and reflect on responsible or harmful behavior.
Like this is the snack letters and West Walls and also SDG board games.
Next, we launched Travel Ticket to Heaven, where students created real eco-friendly travel plan. They selected destination in Nakhon Si Thammarat and designed trip using low carbon transport. Next.
Junk journal journey. In this activity, students use recycled items like tickets and labels to reflect on their travel experiences. They combine storytelling and creative design to express their thought on sustainable tourism. This activity promoted waste reduction while also encouraging personal reflection and artistic communication. Like this one, for example, my friends went to the shopping mall, they watched the movie and went to the photo booth. They write the story that they is like the diary, and this is the labels and snack bag that we have that trip. Lastly, in youth in the community, students conducted fieldwork by visiting local tourist spots and eco-friendly businesses. They posted reviews on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram using hashtags like hashtag #YouthGoLocal, highlight sustainable practices. This activity promoted, this activity allows students to become rebel advocates for eco-conscious tourism while building digital skills and pride in their local community. And this is the diagram shows Pakphanang activity-based approach to responsible tourism. In the first week, we start with Green Mission, and then week 2, Travel Ticket to Heaven. During week 3 and 4, we did junk journal journey and youth in the communities.
We used the structured questionnaire to measure satisfaction, attitude, and application. We analyzed data using percentage, mean score, and standard deviation.
To evaluate the effectiveness of our activity, we conducted a satisfaction survey with 316 grade 10 students. The overall satisfaction was rated as high with a mean score of 4.42 and a standard deviation of 0.58. The two highest rated items were 1. Students' confidence in applying the knowledge in real travel situations, scoring 4.55, and interpreters at very high, and 2. Students' awareness of the negative consequences caused by irresponsible tourists, with a score of 4.5. These results reflect the strong impact of our activity, Green Mission, Travel Ticket to Heaven, Junk Journal Journey, and Youth in the community in helping students recognize real-world implications of tourism behavior. The lowest rated items was the students understand of the economic benefits in tourism for local community, which received a mean score of 4.23. While still categorized as high, it highlights an area we can further strengthen in the future. In summary, the survey confirmed that our activity-based approach effectively enhanced students' skills, knowledge, and attitudes towards responsible and sustainable tourism.
Our findings are grouped into 3 key outcomes. 1. Student understood tourism environmental impact through a board game and animated video, which happened. 2. They use SDG to build real toy plan with practical solutions like public transport and avoiding plastic. 3. They creative workshop plan and deep commitment, especially in junk journal journey and youth in the community.
We propose 4 recommendations. 1. Establish a youth for sustainable tourism club for long-term engagement. 2. Expand fieldwork to other communities. 3. To foster secure community partnerships. And 4. Encourage the creative use of digital media by supporting students in sharing responsible tourism.
In conclusion, we believe that education is the most powerful tool for shaping ethical, environmentally conscious youth.
As young leaders, we may be small, but as Greta Thunberg once said, you are never too small to make a difference. Thank you so much for your attention.
I would like to invite participants to ask questions. Since there's none questions from the participants, I would like to invite judges to ask the questions.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, congratulations. That was a very it's different, but it's applicable in the school setting, which I think is very interesting. However, okay, so since this is your project, you've based on your presentation just now, you did it in a span of 4 weeks, correct? The activities, the first week, green youth, and then you have the ticket to heaven and junk journal journey, and finally you have junk journal journey and youth pin the community comes in the 3rd and 4th week, right? Okay. So who thought of those activities? How did you get the idea to think of those activities to be conducted, okay, in school? And can you share with us the journey, or did you conduct it yourselves, or did you get help from your teachers? These activities you did it in your school,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, so did you get help from your teachers to conduct those activities in the span of a month, or were you the ones who executed and come up with the results of it, and you after that you distributed the surveys, right? And then from there you know that your respondents of 300 something, right? 300 something understood, then they learn something about your about responsible tourism, correct? From those activities that you conduct, right? Okay, so I want to know the process of you doing all those activities in a month. Who helped you with it?
Of course, my supervisors, it's like they are my teachers, so it's more convenient for us to convenient with our students in grade 10 students.
Okay, and who came up with the ideas of these activities? Because I think these activities are very creative and interesting. Who came up with those ideas?
We,
Us.
yes.
Okay, and did you get the idea from anywhere? Like, did you adapt the idea from the activities that maybe you've seen from another country, from YouTube, or did you come up, or is it fresh from you, original?
It's about the Changchano journey.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Skankanok, we both like to do diary and journals. So,
Okay, that's good. Thank you. It's very interesting. Well done.
thank you.
I think I echo what Dr. just mentioned. It's very interesting topic, and by using the gamifications to enhance student awareness on ecotourism, uh, and it is good that you actually conduct the analysis, the descriptive analysis, the mean scores, and so on, and you analyze it. just my question is about your recommendation. You mentioned about the collaboration with the local community. Can you elaborate more on that?
Okay, could you repeat the questions again,
My
please?
question is, you mentioned here to promote collaboration with local community networks. So how is it?
Which one?
The number 3, yeah,
Three.
point number 3. Promote collaboration with local community networks.
So if we have more time, we will expand our work to other community or the school that near with us, and we might, yeah, we will do this project all of our school instead of just 316 students.
So you are going to have a program with them.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Yeah.
Now, I would like to invite Sekolah Menengah Sains Gua Musang.
Test.
Test.
Test. Before we start, please prepare to board Guam's airline. Here are your boarding passes and kindly scan the QR code for extra information on our studies. Assalamualaikum and a very good day to the honorable panel and fellow delegates. Out of the 12 SDG, we have been assigned to SDG 4, which is quality education, advocating responsible and ethical travelers, a vital step towards green initiative. We are proud to represent Sekolah Menengah Sains School Musang with our project titled From Classroom to Compass, Guiding Youth to Responsible Journeys. First, let's start off with our introduction. Hi, I'm Kalisa and I'm from Selangor.
Hi, I'm Rafisha. I'm from Perak.
Hi, I'm Adib and I'm from Selangor.
Hi, my name is Amiza Kwan. I'm also from Selangor. Today there'll be 4 presenters, and Isha and Adib will be taking turns pressing the slides.
So today we invite you on a journey, not one that crosses borders, but one that explores a powerful and transformative idea that education has the potential to shape young minds into an ethical and respectful travelers, individuals who understand the importance of respecting cultural values, preserving natural environments, and traveling with a deeper sense of purpose.
Now moving on to our problem statement, but first let's reflect. What happens when tourists don't understand the impact of their travels? Let me give you an example. Imagine a beach, now once pristine, now littered with trash that the tourists bring. Or maybe a sacred site, now used as a photo shoot background for social media. These aren't just rare cases anymore. This is becoming the norm.
So, what does it mean by unethical tourism? Unethical tourism is when tourists do something that can harm the people, animal, local tradition, and culture. So, unethical tourism causes more than just inconvenience. It leads to littering in fragile natural environment, show disrespect to local tradition, and place strain on basic resources such as water and electricity. This has become especially worrying in countries that rely heavily on tourism for income, but also suffer the consequence when that tourism is then responsible.
Now, let's move on to our research objectives. Our mission was straightforward. We aim to explore the real-world consequences of unethical tourism, how irresponsible behavior by tourists can negatively affect the environment, community, and cultures. But more than just identifying the problems, we also wanted to understand how education, whether in the classroom or through grassroots community projects, can play a role in addressing these issues.
Moreover, we also wanted to develop practical strategies to help students grow into ethical and respectful travelers who not only respect the cultures, communities, and environments they encounter, but who also encourage their peers to do the same by promoting responsibility through education. We believe students can be more conscious of their impact while traveling and actively choose actions that support sustainable and respectful tourism.
Now, moving on to a methodology, we used two key methods. First, we interviewed a renowned academic from the University of South Australia, Dr. Freya Higgins Desioboles. We first discovered her work while researching on Google Scholar. At the time, we were already looking for an expert to interview, and we thought her research paper really fit with our topic. So we contacted her and hoped for the best. After a few emails back and forth, we interviewed her on the 12th of May, and her expert insights really gave us a deeper understanding on how unethical tourism not only harms the environment, but also the very soul of a community.
And second, we explore a wide range of articles, videos, and real-world case studies to deepen our understanding of how education can shape responsible travel behavior. These sources show us that education doesn't only happen in school, but it can also come from public campaign, social media, travel guide, and also community-based program.
Now, moving on to our findings. The first key findings we discovered is the serious environmental degradation caused by unsustainable tourism practices. Many travelers may not realize how their behavior negatively affects the places they visit. Common issues include littering, pollution, and natural habitats destruction. For instance, leaving plastic waste on beaches and damaging coral reefs while snorkeling can disrupt fragile ecosystem and endanger wildlife. This not only affects the natures, this also affects the communities who rely on these places for their life and livelihoods.
Unethical tourism also causes cultural disrespect. Many tourists, especially from highly individualistic societies where personal freedom and self-expression are emphasized, may unintentionally offend local customs. This can happen in various ways, such as wearing inappropriate clothing at religious sites, disregarding local etiquette, or treating sacred rituals as mere entertainment. This not only disrespect the community's heritage, but can also lead to the erosion of cultural identity over time.
And third, there's overconsumption. This means that tourists often use far more basic resources than the local population. For example, they might take long shower every day, leave the air conditioner running for hours, or travel frequently using fuel power transport.
But there is hope. Education is already making a difference. In places like National Park, Royal Bloom State Park, and Sabah, they offer pre-visit briefings. Tourists are briefed not to damage habitats, follow cultural norms, and most importantly, ask permission before photographing locals. And in Royal Bloom State Park, tourists can participate in guided eco tours, tree planting, and ecological research demonstrations. These programs teach respect for indigenous communities, biodiversity conservation, and understanding cultural do's and don'ts. But most importantly, they connect the tourists to the experience on a deeper level, making them appreciate the experience even more.
Globally, we see inspiring models. In Palau, all visitors is required to sign the Palau Pledge upon entry, a commitment stamped in their passports. By signing the pledge, tourists agree to respect the environment, preserve marine life, and honor local customs and traditions during their stay. It's a powerful initiative that places environmental and cultural responsibility at the forefront of the travel experience.
And in Italy, the annual Ithaca Festival promotes responsible tourism by combining art exhibition, local storytelling, eco-tours, and community projects. This festival highlights the importance of protecting local culture and environment while educating both local and tourists.
Now, during the interview, Dr. Freya shared this powerful insight. Visiting a destination means stepping into someone else's home. Ethical tourism starts with respect, responsibility, and reciprocity. This really encapsulates what it means to be an ethical tourist, because ethical tourism begins when we shift from the mindset of what do I get to how can I give back to the community I visit.
So, what have we learned? Tourism isn't just about visiting places, it's about protecting them. When we travel, we become temporary guests of the destinations we visit. Therefore comes a responsibility to minimize our impact and even contribute positively to the environment, community, and the heritage sites we encounter.
And by educating youth, we're not just shaping travelers, we're nurturing global citizens who know that with every journey leaves a footprint, and they choose to make it a positive one. These are our citation for the research in our slides.
Terima kasih. Thank you for listening. We now welcome your questions and your reflections.
I would like to invite participants to ask questions.
All right, thank you very much. So far, you only define unethical tourism as long as it goes against, well, the local culture. But what if the local culture themselves capitalize on these quote-unquote unethical practices? Like, just for example, in Terengganu, where people is involved in the commodification of egg turtle, even though turtles themselves are a very endangered species. But again, this commodification, buying and selling of turtles egg in Terengganu is also part of the local culture. So, by your definition, would this fall under the category of unethical tourism? Thank you.
I think, in my opinion, it's because of the lack of education in these places. You can see these acts already being done here. For example, locals selling monkey food to tourists, and the tourists buying them and playing with the monkeys. So, I think it's just a lack of education total, and that's it. I don't think it's a cause of unethical tourism. It's just a lack of education.
Now, I would like to invite judges to ask questions.
All right, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Right, and good evening. Okay, it's very good presentation on how basically you try to highlight on the sustainable elements, the three elements: social, environment, and also economic, for the local community. And it's about the unethical. For example, like just now, on the turtle eggs, right? So basically, it's illegal. We cannot sell and buy, especially in Terengganu. In your abstract, just you mentioned about the findings suggest that early education combined with real life travel exposure. So, can you elaborate more on how the real life travel exposure can enhance or increase their awareness about sustainability or unethical issues? Right.
Well, you could have, for example, schools can set up clubs about ethical tourism and sustainable practices. And we can see an example at this FRSIS event that we have schools from Thailand, we have Indonesia coming to Malaysia and seeing our cultures, and being more aware of our cultures in general. And I think that brings awareness to just brings awareness to them lah. And we in Malaysia, you don't really see Malaysian students, especially in public schools, going to other countries. I mean, you could have exchange programs, definitely, but
Thank you. That's all.
Travel guide. In your abstract, it's mentioned here that your project aims to contribute to a youth-centered ethical travel guide. Can I see an example of this travel guide? Can. Aims to contribute a youth-centered ethical travel guide and raise awareness.
I think by when we what we mean by the abstract is what we're presenting here is what students can follow.
Okay, so it means that you need to have like your recommendation should be in a form of a list of things that youth can do, right? When they go traveling, so that they can be responsible travelers, correct? Okay, so I was hoping to see that though. Yeah, but it's okay. Your presentation was clear. It's just that I wonder what is the travel guide that you mentioned here. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, I would like to invite Sekolah Menengah Sains Lahad Datu to present. Yes. This.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. With a grateful heart, I greet our honorable judges, the precise timekeeper, the lovely moderator, and our delightful audience this lovely evening. I am Nina Bilha binti Safarudin, and my companion Rifatu Shifa Inshira binti Syarul Azmin from Sekolah Menengah Sains Lahad Datu will be your presenter for this session with our topic Make Memories, Not Waste, Encouraging Green Initiatives. If you take a closer look at the Earth nowadays, you will realize that it is facing a severe crisis that is caused by who other than the humans. With that, a program called ecotourism has been created to help the world to be shapen again. Ecotourism leads to tourism directed towards exotic, often threatened natural environments intended to support conservation efforts, observe wildlife, and also improving the well-being of local people. Ecotourism gives us many benefits, such as economic benefits and support for local communities. From here, it doesn't only give those impacts to the earth, but it also helps humans to create a much more stable life. But aren't you curious on why is the impact isn't showing that much of a result after so many years? Well, after conducting thorough research, we have found out a rather typical reason, which is unethical travelers. What is unethical traveler? An unethical travelers are individuals who engage in bad behaviors during their travel that are considered morally wrong in many ways. They often disregard local laws, customs, or sustainability principles. Moving on to our problem statement, we have stated out that unethical traveler may be seen as something insignificant, but their cumulative impact is catastrophic. They generate carbon footprints and slowly unleash a cascade of environment catastrophes such as global warming and air pollution. In conclusion, unethical travelers are one of the roots to our world crisis nowadays. Moving on to our research questions for the suggestions, which are why are there unethical tourists and how do we overcome these behaviors? To overcome this problem, we have to first understand why unethical travelers are actually the main problem. Well, they could cause various impacts towards the environments, such as wasting resources and damaging ecosystem. These could cause a long-term harm to the beauty and health of nature. Here are the survey's findings that has led us to our solutions. So, for the first questions, it has came out that our community is not aware of becoming ethical travelers. For the second questions, they don't actually know how to adapt eco-friendly travel practices. For the third question, they don't believe that most travelers in our country act ethically while participating in ecotourism in other countries. For the last question, they don't actually consider natural ecotourism policies when planning their trip to other countries. Based on our findings, we also found out that the most
problems caused by tourism are damaging coral reef and followed by ignoring environmental rules. Here, it shows that these problems are often made by tourists conducting environmental attractions.
Is tourism destroying cities? In Thailand, a beach has been closed to protect its coral reefs from tourists. In Indonesia, Bali's famously pristine beaches are now being swamped by garbage.
No matter where you go, no matter what remote area, they have the same problems. What do you do with human waste? What do you do with solid waste?
Now, the highlight of our presentation is our answer towards the question, how do we overcome this unethical tourist behavior? With that, we present to you TRIP, Tourism Revolution through Innovative Process. Our project has three objectives. The first one is educate and enforce ethical standards among tourists. The second one is to promote sustainable tourism practices and ecotourism. And lastly, to promote initiatives to reduce the carbon footprint for the tourism sector. Our project recommends the Malaysian government to establish a code of ethics, which ensure that tourists to obey the local laws. In order to achieve this objective, the Code of Ethics criteria includes all of the aspects such as environmental, legal ethics, and cultural appropriation. To uphold environmental responsibility, the Code of Ethics will support and enforce the key of pollution preservation, following law including of the ecological sensitivity of the places they are visiting. From marine parks to highland forests, they need to be held accountable if they cause any harm. The next code of ethics will also act in line with existing a legal framework to prevent drug-related offenses and immigration violation. With these laws, or while these laws already exist, the Code of Ethics provides a mechanism to ensure that the tourists understand them clearly and face appropriate action when they are violated, such as fines, repatriation, or educational sessions. Lastly, cultural appropriation and respect. This code will support ethical tourism by reinforcing cultural, historical, and natural heritage. This gives outlines of acceptable tourist behavior and expectation. To simplify, by promoting respect for local custom attire, festival, spiritual spaces, we may foster a much more harmonious relationship towards the tourists and our country. Next, this is how we intend to bring these laws into real life situation. This law will be converted into a quick and easy learning course designed to be short yet effective. This code will give the tourists all the essential knowledge of the code of ethics. The final stage of the learning will be a simple exam done within a few minutes. Once they took the exam, they're ready to receive a verified e-certificate. From there, the tourist will become a certified card holder as an official proof that they are obligated to the code of ethics. Now, they can enjoy the benefit of trip tab. This card consists of many levels achieved by the tourists based on the examination result. Has higher level has higher profit, such as exclusive discount, priority access, and proper travel agencies will be provided. Not only does this card reward the tourists, but it also contribute positively to our country economy and environment. First, the fee collected from the examination will open a brand new stream of revenue for the country, which helps support local program, tourism infrastructure, and further develop sustainable initiative. Secondly, TripTap plays a key role in reducing unethical tourist behavior. Finally, TripTap promotes a shift towards sustainable practices throughout the tourism sector. Lastly, how can we implement to make sure the success of this TripTap initiative? Firstly, we will make a partnership with the travel agencies to make sure that the tourists are educated about the code of ethics before they even begin their journey. And lastly, ongoing real-time monitoring. The travel agency themselves will be responsible for any violation of laws done by the card holders. The TRIP project is designed to create a more ethical, environmentally responsible tourism experience in Malaysia by educating tourists through the TRIP tap system and rewarding sustainable actions. Remember, make memories, not waste. Travel sustainably, travel with grace. That is all for our presentation. Thank you.
I would like to invite participants to ask questions. I would like to invite judges to ask questions.
Okay, good evening. Thank you for your presentation. Okay, I would like to ask about your methodology. Okay, I think you showed us some charts, right? The percentage of the survey that you have conducted. May I know how many respondents do you have?
Forty-three respondents.
43 respondents. Okay. And in your abstract, I think you mentioned about you did qualitative method as well. You interviewed people, right? Can you show us the data or findings regarding the interviews?
For the data for interview, actually we had interviewed our teachers that that they travel frequently. So we asked them a question such as how frequent they travel in a year, and from that we know either from their observation is our community is an ethical traveler or not. That's all.
Meaning that you collected insights from your teachers based on the interviews that you have conducted, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Congratulations, as you presented on your research project just now. Yeah, I think I agree with Miss Kao on your basically on the interview session. Yeah, you mentioned here that with the overseas travelers, so how you actually identify them, and if you have the result from which countries, the overseas travelers basically.
Capture many of the teachers have learned from other countries such as Beijing, Thailand, and also Switzerland. Of total contribution Beijing, okay, some of the teachers have actually learned through overseas, such as Beijing, Switzerland, and London.
So actually,
from overseas, Beijing, Switzerland, and London.
our teacher that we interviewed have oversee.
Are they
So-
foreign travelers or from Sabah?
But yeah. Well, actually, the teachers that we actually come from learned from Beijing, Switzerland, and London.
Okay, so they are confirmed that actually from overseas, lah, from foreign countries. And you mentioned about the prototype of innovation. Is it referring to the trip tab?
Yes.
All right, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sekolah Menengah Sains Lahad Datu, for the presentations.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good afternoon I bid to the honorable panel of judges, meticulous timekeeper, and lovely Miss Speaker, and everybody in the hall for today. Today, under the research title of EDUTOURISM in Action, empowering responsible travelers through turtle conservation in Terengganu. Next. Okay, to introduce my team, I am yours truly as the presenter, Arifah Maisara, and Madiha Arisha as our rapporteur, our technical assistant, Dedi Shahidin, our moderator, Hamza Yusof, and our beloved teacher advisor, Madam Halimatun Saadiah. All right. First, we will be defining what exactly is ecotourism. We believe that ecotourism is responsible travel to natural areas that, number one, it conserves the environment, number two, sustains the well-being of local communities, and number three, involves meaningful interpretation and education. Moving on, what is edutourism? The definition that we have given for edutourism is travel that is designed for structured learning experiences. It focuses on cultural, environmental, and or scientific topics. And we integrate edutourism within ecotourism, where edutourism is a key component of ecotourism. It encourages active engagement rather than passive observation. Now, the link between linking edutourism and ecotourism shows how both share the same core values, which is number one, cares
for the environment. Number 2, supporting local communities. And number 3, promotes sustainability. Now, edutourism adds a deeper traveler understanding of ecological and cultural issues inside ecotourism itself. It helps ecotourism become more sustainable, uses more sustainable practices, and more benefiting destinations visits, and promoting long-term efforts in conservation. Now, why did we specifically choose turtle conservations? Well, we believe that turtle conservations is a powerful tool for promoting responsible travel behavior, and that fosters environmental awareness and also supports sustainable development through quality education. Now, the problem statement for our research is that sea turtle populations are declining rapidly due to pollution, poaching, and irresponsible tourism. And many people are unaware of the fragile balance between tourism and marine conservation, as well as there is a lack of involvement from large communities in real, meaningful, sustainable ecotourism industries. Now, the hypothesis for our research for today is that increased awareness of environmental issues among tourists can lead to more responsible travel behaviors and support for conservation initiatives. Now, which leads us to our main objective, which is we are trying to raise awareness on the factor of the rapid decline in population of the sea turtles, and to raise awareness on the fragile balance between tourism and marine conservation. We are also trying to encourage involvement from large communities such as learning institutions and household communities. We use two different methodology, which is an online survey administered to volunteers at the Tagahutang Turtle Sanctuary, and also we conducted an expert interview with the researchers and conservation officers at at the Sea Turtle Research Unit at University Malaysia Terengganu. Now, the findings that the results that we got from our online survey is that the activities that the volunteers preferred the most, like turtle nesting monitoring, beach cleanups, and night patrols, all show that these volunteers still see their volunteer work as some sort of holiday or as some sort of tourism, because they enjoy these activities that engages them in learning outside and looking at the scenery and all sorts of that. We also found that we also asked these volunteers where do they see themselves after they have gained the experience of volunteering at the turtle sanctuary, and they said that they see themselves playing a very important role in turtle conservation. They also said that they became more environmentally aware after participation, and that these volunteers saw themselves as future advocates for sustainable tourism, which shows that they have they are aware that they will that education is apparent in ecotourism as well. We also they also learned some values through their stay at the Tagahutang Turtle Sanctuary, such as responsible waste disposal. They learned that they had to be responsible for their own waste to ensure that the future of so that it does not pollute the environment. They also learned values as respecting wildlife, cultural sensitivity, limiting resource use, and eco-friendly travel choices. And through their expert interview with the officers, we learned that the volunteers at the turtle sanctuary act as citizen scientists where they help collect real actual data and support turtle research for the betterment of marine conservation. They also raise eco-awareness in the community as ambassadors of conservation because their actions will inspire friends, families, and others to care about nature. We also learn that youth become ambassador of conservation because they will share these experiences online via social media, and this encourages responsible tourism. Now, the challenges that we found was that the volunteer work was rather tiring and tough. Night patrols and beach walks can be physically exhausting, and that the threats to turtles from and that there are multiple threats to turtles through human actions such as egg theft and ocean plastic are still a serious problem. And the lack of facilities and comfort is also a huge problem because there are limited clean water, toilets, and electricity. Also, low awareness about marine life. Some youth still don't understand how important the ocean is or how exactly to protect it because they feel like they are not capable of giving a big enough impact. And most importantly, they don't have enough training or guidance, and some volunteers feel very unprepared to help effectively. Now, in conclusion, volunteerism at Cagar Hutang empowers communities to engage in authentic conservation and to understand the fragility of marine ecosystems and spread awareness about sustainable ecotourism. While impact is evident, improving program preparation and addressing environmental challenges remain crucial for long-term success. That is all from us. We welcome any questions.
I would like to invite participants to ask questions. Now, I would like to invite judges to ask the question.
Hi.
Yes, hi.
Well done. Okay.
Oh.
Did you and your team participate in the volunteer work at this turtle sanctuary?
We plan to participate in the actual volunteer work, but we couldn't because of the time. And even before coming to the FRSIS event right now, we had like a 3-week of exams.
Okay.
So there was absolutely no time for us to volunteer there. So that's why we conducted an online survey rather than experience.
All right. So the challenges that you presented just now,
Yeah.
were the opinions from
The volunteers.
Yeah, the volunteers,
and
right?
the officers themselves.
Okay. So now I like to know the challenges in conducting this.
In conducting this.
Yes.
As in how?
The challenges that you face, you and your team face. Well, because you deal with the experts from UMT,
Yeah,
and you went to the sanctuary to distribute surveys and
Yeah,
conduct interviews,
yeah.
right? And ask them. So did you encounter any challenges while
Personally, I feel like one of the challenges that I encountered was that it was sad to see we tried to do a survey at school at first, and it was kind of sad to see that most of my friends did not actually have a very big understanding on ecotourism, pollution, and the declining of the sea turtle population as a whole. So and they also had very limited knowledge on that. So I feel like that there was not enough information that we could present based on the survey that we conducted at school. That's why we went to online survey to actual volunteers that actually volunteered at the turtle sanctuary.
But that is better, right? You get hands-on,
Yeah.
like you get the real opinion
Yeah, we
of
get-
those people involved,
Mhm.
right? Okay, that's good. Thank you very much for sharing.
Welcome.
All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Congratulations. Very interesting topic. And yeah, it is good that you basically collaborated with UMT
Yes.
and the Turtle Sanctuary.
Mhm.
And based on the findings,
Yes.
I can see that there are few challenges.
Yes.
Can you come up with certain solutions or recommendations based on the challenges that you mentioned just now?
The challenges.
For example, like lack of awareness.
Mm, for the challenges. Wait. Okay.
Yeah, here.
Um,
Maybe just one.
one. Oh. Well, it would be like the most easiest would be like the low awareness about marine life, because we can do like um workshops, and like we can do campaigns and all that to spread more awareness amongst youth, amongst communities, even old people who do not have any idea, like, or maybe fishermen, because sometimes the death of these sea turtles are also because of fishermen who do not know how to actually handle these wild animals.
Right. Thank you. Great question. Answer. Right. Thanks. That's all.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you to the fellow presenters for the presentation. A special thank you for the judges for your time, and thank you to the audience for your attention.